This is a redirect video for Boku no Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 1 and 2. So yeah, links always from below to my reaction down below. And come back here when you want to see my full review of these two episodes and all that good stuff. So click away now or be, spoiled or whatever for what happens. Click away now. Okay. Very freaking cool episodes, I should say, two of them. Also, I know there's a third one. It's like episode 0, whatever. But it's just like kind of like a recap episode. There's not much there. Um, we already knew all the information, anyways. So I didn't react to that on camera. I did watch it afterwards and everything. Um, but yeah, very very cool group episodes. Uh, I love how they're having a tournament like in the show now. A lot of shows a lot of animes do that nowadays. Well, nowadays ish. Not it doesn't have to be nowadays, but anime seems to do that a lot. Ruby had their big tournament. Fairy Tail had a big tournament. Um, those are the only two that come to mind, but I know for a fact there are others. I think One Piece at one point had some kind of tournament thing. Um, I mean, like Dragon Ball has a tournament like every other time. um, I mean that like I think I have one turn. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen Dragon Ball. But yeah, tons of anime do uh tournament stuff. So I'm excited to see what this one is all about. It's called the Sports Festival or something like that. Um, so it's all about kind of like athletic ability, testing your skills, not on each other, maybe, but more along the lines of just doing an objective, and whoever gets there first or does the thing first, gets noticed the most, kind of thing. Because they're trying to get sponsors, I guess, for uh, just sponsors and like a job, basically, after they get out of the academy. Um, but yeah, for the second episode, we kind of learned that it's going to be a race around a track. It's well, one lap around the track, but it's kind of like the entire length of the stadium, the entire innards of the stadium, and then I guess they put robots in the mix to like as obstacles to kind of either go around or destroy or something like that. I'm sure they're there not only to possibly weed out the people who don't know how to fight, but also is there for the heroes to kind of show off their abilities on how to get away or how to, just like show off a little bit, little flair, and then go and do the track kind of thing, do the obstacle. Um, I'm actually wondering if there's going to be different obstacles like as they're going through because they only ran so far and then the robots are there. I doubt the robots are there and everywhere around the entire track. I'm assuming there's going to be other obstacles. I'm not sure. But I guess we'll see next week. Um, but yeah, so Ice Boy, he seems to be getting a lot of like attention and everything, and like in the spotlight or a lot of screen time. Um, and in a way, I'm kind of worried because usually when a character gets a lot of screen time like this, who used to be like a background character slash side character, it means they're either going to be something bad going to happen to them like immediately, or or they've bumped up in terms of uh, role. So they're no longer a side character. They're more along the lines of like you know a more of a role, basically, not a main character, obviously, but like just like a more or up there on the rank of like popularity. No, that's not a word. I don't know what word I'm thinking of. But yeah, in terms of like the ranking system, he was pretty low down on the list of like important characters, and then they gave him a lot of backstory in these two episodes. Um, and he's kind of like up there now. Like we know he's got a dad. He, well, we knew about him being put in by recommendation, um, but that's all kind of we knew about him. He was like there for recommendation, but like he said when he was like in the Oxford course, he was doing it for his dad, kind of thing, or he hopes his dad's watching or something along those lines. Um, so yeah, it's just like a lot of screen time, and then he's also kind of you know uh, butting heads with Midoriya for some reason. Who knows why? But yeah, yeah. I think the reason why he's butting heads with Midoriya is not only does he think Midoriya is getting special treatment because All Might is helping him, or like being buddy buddy with him at least. Um, I feel I'm maybe Ice Boy kind of like feels like he should be the one All Might's being going to like tutor, whatever, or like help out, instead of Midoriya, who's like obviously the not the weakest, but um the unskilled of the classmates, because obviously we know Midoriya has a ton of power behind him, but every time he uses it, he hurts himself, which is a very bad downside. Also, we learned, I guess we learned, it last season, but it wasn't really like talked about really. But when Midoriya punched, uh, or was about to punch the one guy, the main villain guy, like that kind of cushion stuff came up, and like he like softened the blow. Um, at first I thought that was what happened. It softened the blow, but apparently, it didn't hurt him because he was kind of like had a mental block. He mentally didn't want to hurt him. So his subconscious kind of kicked in and like lowered the intensity of the punch, I guess, is what they were talking about. Um, so they're trying to, All Might and Midoriya are trying to like kind of make that work. Um, but yeah, it's pretty interesting. Can't wait to see what Midoriya does, because at the very end of season, or the very end of episode 2, we had a little cliffhanger of Midoriya about to like attack, kind of thing, or about to do something, about to run away, not run away, but run past him, run through them, attack something. I don't know. Um, Whatever he's planning, he's gonna do it next episode, basically. Um, so I'm excited to see what happens there and like what he chooses to do. Um, oh gosh, a lot of characters got a lot of screen time as well. Um, Freaking Mina, this girl, my favorite character of the show, she got a lot of time on the screen. She had like 4 scenes. Like she was like talking with the um, I can't remember how to pronounce her name, but it's the frog girl. She was talking with her, and then like later on, she was like ice skating, through the whole or not ice skating, ooze skating or whatever you want to call it. Um, she was doing that, and then she was just all around. She's like getting a lot of screen time, and I think that's what makes it different from season 1, because season 1 of My Hero Academia was all about kind of world building and kind of like a main character setup kind of thing, getting the main character kind of out there and everyone kind of knowing what's happening. Um, and then they kind of they obviously they showed off all the kids before, um, but very briefly, just kind of like shotgun kind of thing, just like showing a little bit here and there, not very much at all. Introductions, what their power set is, to not all of them, but like some of them, and then moving on kind of thing. They kind of did that. They kind of introduction, power set, moving on. But season 2, it seems like that's all out of the way now. We can actually kind of build up from that. So Ice Blade, for example, he in season 1 he was like his introduction. He's got like half kind of whole apparel like that, and then we learned that he can do ice powers, and then he's very strong. He can do a lot of stuff with ice powers, and that's it. That's all we knew about him. And then season 2, all of a sudden he's got this backstory. He wants to impress his dad. He wants to like do all this stuff. So, um, uh, stuff like that. Like I'm assuming 100% that season 2 is going to be um, building the characters now. Is not just the main characters, because we already know about them. Midoriya and All Might and Speedster kid. I can't remember his name either. Um, uh, yeah, I can't remember. I can't. um, and then the Gravity Girl. What's her? Can't remember her like her hero name. Infinity Girl or so. I can't. I can't remember which name. what they made it, what they called her, but her as well. Like they're kind of all main characters in a way, so we're kind of learning a little bit more about them. Also, we learned about Gravity Girl as well in this episode 1. I think we learned a little bit more about her. How she doesn't she's doing it for the money, but for good reasons. She's doing it to like help her family out. So that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see in like a future kind of thing, like going to go see her making money and then give it to your family, who apparently is a construction job like thing. Um, but yeah, so gosh, what else happened? Yeah, we got to see like the kind of starting of the obstacle course, obstacle race, obstacle whatever, and we got to see them kind of run out of the gate, or not the gate, but like begin in the center of the ring, running out through like a corridor, and they had to get through that as an obstacle, and the door. Ice Kid, blew it up basically with ice, and then like froze the floor. Basically, I think half of the 1A kids kind of dodged it, or could easily bypass or go through it or over it kind of thing, very easily. I never saw Speedster Kid. I never saw him. I don't think actually in that scenario. So I'm in the back of my mind. I'm wondering if he's already like way ahead and no one saw him, or something. I don't know. I'm interested to find out where he is, because he's supposed to be like this good sprinter and can just sprint through anything like at Mach speed, like all this stuff. So not Mach speed probably, but maybe Mach speed. I don't know. But we never got to see him that I know of. I probably have to go back and watch that scene again. Um, but he and Frog Girl, I think, were the two that I didn't notice. They might have been there in the background somewhere, but I didn't notice them right off the bat. But yeah, so we never got to see what happened to 13, the spacesuit teacher that we saw season 1. So obviously she's probably still being recovered, or is recovering. So I'm excited to see more of her. We got to see what's his name? I guess Snipe. I think I read that somewhere. The gunslinger guy. We saw him and Midnight with the principal talking. What they were talking about? I think they were just generally like talking. Oh, a couple other new people too as well. If I remember correctly. I don't know. They've probably been the same people. And then that rock slide guy as well. He was kind of like walking out. It's cool to see them all again, and it's kind of cool because we never got to see any of the teachers except like the finale of season 1, except like Eraserhead or whatever. But oh, and the DJ guy as well. And I guess Recovery Girl as well. So I guess we did see like a handful of them, but we never got to see the majority of the teachers. So it's kind of cool to see them actually being used, or whatever, in season 2. I guess technically in season 1 we did hear them and see them and whatever. They're like in that kind of study, like watching the students on the screens and everything when they're doing their test. But in season 2, I'm full on believing that we're gonna see a lot more of them. Midnight is like the what they call her. It's kind of, they didn't say referee, but that's pretty much kind of like what she is. She's like kind of the organizer, making sure everything goes properly, well, and good and everything. And then there are other heroes out and around that are being on security duty, or bodyguard duty, or whatever you want to call it. That we've seen in the past, like the tree guy, the girl who can grow herself, and then the one guy who had like the thing over his head, and I think he has knuckles. I can't remember. Strong guy. So we've seen them. So I'm sure at some point we'll see more of them, kind of thing, which is gonna be cool. But yeah. Oh gosh, what else? What else? What else? What else? I think that's it. believe that's it. I'm like in my mind, I'm like running through it in my mind, both episodes. Um, if I forget anything, I can tell at the very end. But one thing I wanted to do is kind of go through some, not all, because good lord, I wanted to go through some of the voice actors for the dubbed, and kind of showcase, you know, their style, like um, who they voice in other shows. Um, so like, for example, like the big one that like I'm sure a lot of people know is Momo, who does the voice of Urza in Fairy Tail. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually pull up this um, and actually show you the thing I have here. So this is gonna get ridiculous. I wonder if I should actually make a new thing. I should probably make a new thing. Okay. Okay, just 1 second. Um, Video capture to sure. Not video capture. Wait, what am I doing? Not video capture. Hold on. Let me just pull this up real quick. Display capture. There we go. Display capture 2. Alright, that's way big, but just bear with me for a second. It's way big. Okay. Sure. We'll do something like this. I don't know. I guess that'll work. Okay, we'll start over here first. I'll just do that. So, okay, this girl here, who is the headphone jack girl that we saw in season 2 at the very end with Momo. Her voice actor also does the voice for Sherry, which is a kind of a cool kind of a lot of these are going to be like weird kind of combos, but at the same time, in a way, it's weirdly matched. So I'm wondering if we are going to like. I know for a fact it doesn't matter because they're just voice actors doing their thing, but in a weird kind of coincidental way, I'm wondering if if their matches of their voice actors matches actually matches their character or whatever in the show. So like does Sherry and uh, Kyoka, do they both kind of share similarities in some weird way, like coincidentally? But I don't know. It's just one of those things. But yeah, it's that character is pretty cool. And then the Lightning Kid, he's voiced by same voice actor as Jason in the dubbed. Um, Speedster Kid, Tenya, he's the same voice actor as Simon and Acnologia, which when he talked like once and like the end of Tenra, or not Tenra, Tartarus, um, um, Minoru, is actually funny enough voiced by a girl, who also voices Julia. Then we have Toru, the Invisible Girl, who's voiced by who also voices Coco, which is really pretty funny. Um, Nezu was the principal. Obviously we know that he's voiced by or same voice actor as Leon. Um, the DJ guy, Present Mike, he same voice actor as Redis, and the teacher from Assassinated Classroom, which I'm watching right now, which I thought was pretty funny. Um, so that's a pretty funny mix. And then Mina, my favorite character, also voices Evergreen, which is pretty hilarious. And I never clicked on that. That voice never um, mixed well. Like a lot of characters um, like Urza's voice actor, Gajo's voice actor, those kind of characters, you can kind of really tell it's them. But yeah, the person who yeah, Caitlin, yeah, yes, it's Caitlin. Caitlin Glass does a really good job at like hiding her voice from other characters, kind of thing. Also, these voice actors have a ton of work behind them too, not just like a couple of things. They do a lot of work. I had to like do like Control F Fairy Tale to see if they had a match at all with Fairy Tale, because I didn't want to like characters, villains, whatever other things they do. It doesn't really matter in the long run, because I would forget them immediately if I don't remember the character. But yeah, it's kind of funny to see that Mina's also voiced by Evergreen. And then Midoriya's mom is also Aquarius, which that's rough, but it's very awesome. I like that a lot. And then how am I going to do this? Let me do this real quick. Let me just add a crop thing, I guess. Where is it at? There it is. Yes. No? That's not where that's not what I want. Hold on. Hold on, doing some background stuff. Crop. There we go. That's what I want. Crop. Okay. Get rid of the right. Oh my god. Just go 100. 1,000. That's way too much. Oh my god. 5,000. No. 400. 450. No. 410. 420. There we go. 420. Okay. I have to get it off screen. There we go. Okay. So this is the next row of characters that I have matched up. So Bird Kid, he also voices Hugh and Black Snake, which is kind of funny. Kind of like, I guess that kind of matches like kind of like his dark kind of like he's not dark, but like he's like mysterious. Not mysterious. What am I saying? There's a term for it that I'm not thinking of right away, but he's kind of like in a way like Batman in a way, like like dark, mysterious, kind of in the shadows kind of characters. So it makes sense that Hughes wasn't really like in the shadows per se, but Blacksnake was. But yeah, it's kind of weird kind of setup there. Momo, as you know, is Urza. Which is very very cool. I didn't actually recognize Urza's voice. Or I didn't like recognize it like straight up. I thought it was like I literally thought they changed voice actors. But later on, I heard her Momo talk again, and it was just it clicked. I was like, yeah, that's hers kind of thing. Uh, Death Arms. That's the strong guy in like the first episode. He's voices Ward, young Ward. Which is very very cool. I didn't notice that when I was watching it, but I mean, there's a lot of voices here, So I'm excited to not remember any of them, but that's fine. Mount T, which is Kana, which I got on when I was watching it. I realized that immediately. She had like kind of like a vocal indications that kind of matched with Kana, so I was like, it's Kana kind of thing. That's pretty funny. What's his last name again? Bakugo. He voices Yuri, young Yuri. I guess there's no old Yuri. Yeah, he voices Yuri, in Fairy Tail. So that's pretty interesting, and kind of cool in a weird way too as well. Yeah, grab a girl. Uraraki, Ochaco, one of those. Her, she voices Kid Natsu, which is very funny. Snipe, there you go. Voiced by Gaijil. This kid here, Yuga, voices Zeref, which is polar opposites. It's so funny that like that happened. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. The voice for Gaijil also voices another character in what is it 1B or 2B, one of those. The other classroom. I heard his voice like many times. He was like yelling at the kids, or he was yelling at like 1A kids. And that was like 1-to-1. Like that was definitely Gaijil, but it didn't update on the site, so I'm not. I don't have confirmed evidence that it is him, but I just know it. I just know he's that voice as well. And one of the kids on the classroom. Anyways, yeah, Yuga and Zeref is a funny combination. And then yeah, Frogger, uh, Tizuyo, Izui, something like that. Names are hard for me. I'm sorry. um, of course, she voices Mira, but she also voices Plu, which I don't know if anybody ever knew that. Um, but yeah, so that's just like a funny little thing that I wanted to go through, and there are so many other characters. Like if I just click on Midoriya, um, actually, hold on. Let's click on Midoriya. Where is he at? No, he said Pop. My bad. Oh yeah, and then All Might's Elfman, of course, we knew that one as well. Midoriya, click on Midoriya, and then type 2011 Fairy Tale. That was it, saying there's no match. Um, yeah, he's got a lot of characters though. Dating back to like One Piece 2014 or 2004. That's kind of a bad example actually. Um, there's so many characters, so many characters. That it's so cool to see. Um, I can't wait to see more characters in the show kind of pop up in and out, whatever, be introduced. Kind of, well, for one thing, I want to know more about the characters that we've seen already, and you know, uh, interact with them more and learn more about them, kind of thing. Like Mina, for example. I really want to know more about her and why she looks like a snail sheep, snail sheep thing. She's for some reason she clicked on me the most on like my favorite character, and I think yeah she's second, and then Momo third, and then Midoriya fourth as well. Um, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next. I'm pretty sure there's nothing else for me to mention. If there is, I'm sorry. I've missed it. Whatever. I forgot about it. But if you mention what you want to talk about in the comments below, I will talk to you guys with it there. Um, please, for the love of God, no spoilers. I know this show has a manga, and the manga's already done. I don't think it's done, but I think it's I'm not confirmed or deny if it's done or not. I don't know. I don't know the information. I just know there is a manga, um, and it is out, and people have read it. So spoilers are out there. I'm assuming. So if you don't read the manga and you don't want to spoil, just be cautious of comments and stuff. But I'll have my mods kind of go through there and make sure spoilers and stuff, like blatant spoilers and everything, are removed. So if you want me to read your comment, don't spoil. If you want to talk with me down in the comments, talk with you down in the comments without spoiling anything. And all that good stuff. And I cannot wait for next week for basically, episode 3. So I'll be doing this every week on Mondays. I think at this point I'm going to keep it with Mondays, but I'll give it like a week or two to see how that works with my schedule and everything. The episodes for My Hero Academia comes out on Saturdays for me in the morning, so it's kind of like a good point for me to kind of jump on and start recording. And then like once I basically what I did was the moment I recorded my episode on Saturday, I immediately threw it up on Patreon, so that way Patreon can get it, 2 days in advance, kind of thing, like they're supporting me for. So that worked out, like kind of immediately when I reacted to, I threw it up there. So yeah, if you want to see all my reactions early, that's all there. But yeah. There's a couple other shows that I kind of wanted to throw into the mix, but I think I'll wait until something else pops up, kind of thing. I don't know. But for now, My Hero Academia will stick up on Mondays. Normal time Mondays, basically. Patreon will be up on Saturdays. So that's like the only show that's kind of on my Patreon that will go up on like an off upload day. That's fine. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, don't spoil anything in the comments below. Go click my reaction to go see my reaction to it. There's a lot of really funny bits, a lot of funny moments. Can't wait to see more. Yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week for episode 3 of My Hero Academia. Take care, everybody.